It is 11/13, May 3rd, 2025. I'm in Dallas, Texas, and just killed these Clara Gourmet shortbread cookies. Just like literally annihilated the whole package. It's like 11 o'clock at night, and yeah. So the reason I'm here, I'm in my hotel room right now, and I spent the whole weekend touring and doing some apartment tours in Dallas, Texas. And I believe that's the new place that I will be living. Oklahoma was great. Have a lot of clients there. Still will have a lot of clients there. Still will do a lot of business. But when it comes to expanding and jumping into an emerging market, Dallas, Texas is something that just really, really stands out. Oklahoma served its time, but it's time to start swimming with the big fish a little bit. And this is just another stepping stone to doing that. And man, I have had the craziest time in Dallas. And let's just start from the beginning. So, when I realized I wanted to move to Dallas, it was about 2 weeks ago. And I just put in my 2-month notice. And so I was like, all right, well, here we go, God. And so I've been just researching houses, apartments and just places to live near downtown Dallas. Not in downtown, but just kind of near it. I just want to be in like the social scene a lot. And so just been researching and found some really good places, talked to a bunch of realtors. But I was like nervous because, so many people are just way more successful out here. People make 10 times more money out here. There's so much money that circulates through the city. There's so many people, so much competition, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the question that kept popping up in my mind was, do I belong here? Can I compete? Can I make enough money to pay rent? Which obviously I can, but those things just happen. And then other things that popped in my mind were like, what if all else fails? What if my business fails out here? What if I lose all my clients? All those things. Just nonstop in my head for the last 2 weeks. And to be honest, I had to tell myself, what if it all went right? What if the business blows up? What if you meet the right people? What if you go from 0 to 100 real quick? And when there's a risk that is involved, it's scary. And I'm not gonna lie. I was telling everyone, this is terrifying. I'm actually scared to move to Dallas. And then I realized that God is real. I always knew that, but sometimes you can forget. And then I realized God will provide. And I tell people in YouTube videos all the time, and people in real life and in my content, like, oh, just risk. Like, bite off more than you can chew, figure out how to swallow it, blah, 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 blah. And I'd say I take more risks than the average person. So average person's risk tolerance is here and mine's here. But moving to Dallas, that was like outside of these lines. That was like here. Moving from a place that you grew your business, that you have majority of your clientele, that you have a safety net of income with baseball, coaching, and all that stuff if all else fails, and going, you know what? I'm out. I'm going somewhere else. Where I don't know anyone. I know a few people, but I really don't know anyone compared to the size of this place. Don't know anyone. Don't know where I'm going to live. Don't know how I'm going to meet people. and it was terrifying. So when I was driving down here on Friday to view a bunch of apartments, I don't know what, I don't know. I was playing, I don't know what happened, but while I entered Dallas, I'll never forget this. I played the song HY, HYFR, I'll just say, by Drake and Lil Wayne popped on. And I was like, it was just vibing. I felt like I was in a movie. And then right when I hit Dallas, blue McLaren speeds past me. And I was like, whoa, this is different. Because in Oklahoma, you don't see that. And I started seeing all these super, super nice cars. And I was like, whoa. I hit downtown. I'm like, whoa, look up, skyline. I'm like, wow, this is incredible. And like, it motivated me. It inspired me. And it was just incredible to see. And so, and then the first apartment I viewed, massive balcony, and it's like all next to all these amazing restaurants and things. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is actually dope. And I viewed 3-4 apartments on Friday. And what I would do is I would go to the apartment, view it, tour it, but then I did something special. And Anthony Bourdain, if you know who Anthony Bourdain is, he always did something that I started doing. He did. He would always say this when he travels. He says, eat at the local restaurant, get the cream sauce, have a cold pint at 4 o'clock in a mostly empty bar, go somewhere you've never been, listen to someone you think may have nothing in common with you, order the steak rare, eat an oyster, have a Negroni, have 2, be open to the world where you may not understand or agree with the person next to you, but have a drink with them anyways. Eat slowly, tip your server, check in on your friends, enjoy the ride. And listening to that, what I do in every single city is I always try to walk around where all the locals are walking and go to the spots that like no one talks about on TikTok or social media, but all the locals know. And so every single apartment that I toured on Friday, I would literally just go to like walk around the block, kind of get the vibe. Hey, what's kind of the living situation? Maybe I'd run into someone and I'd be like, hey, do you live in XYZ? Like, do you live around here? How do you like it? Blah, blah, blah. Just kind of make connections, kind of, get a little social. And then I'd find like a little restaurant next to every single apartment, whether it's burritos. I think I had burritos, poke, I had ice cream, I had a beer at one restaurant. And I would go to a little small restaurant, little family-owned restaurant, and order something and just sit there and vibe out, people watch, see what's going on. And I did that for every single apartment complex, except one. And it was just dope. It was dope. There was no plans. It was just all flow. Whatever happened. Whatever people I met, right? And so, man, it was super, super cool. And so midway through the day, I hired a staff member who's kind of in charge of like sales and accounts out here in Dallas, and she just moved into actually an apartment that I toured. I'm not gonna live in that complex, but when I was touring it, she texted me, and so I went up there after and helped her and her roommate move boxes and stuff like that. And they were like so dope. They were just such dope individuals, and it's cool because I was kind of nervous about Dallas, and I don't really know anyone. And then just meeting them, kind of becoming friends with them, was super cool. And they were just like so encouraging, and like when we were moving boxes and stuff, they were just telling me like all the great things about Dallas and where to go and where to not go. And it kind of like made me like a little more comfortable, right? And then just drove around. The Katy Trail in Dallas is something that I was on a walk. I went on a walk later on. But yeah, after I helped move boxes, that was probably midday on Friday. What I did was I needed to clear my head, because a lot of times in my life I go up, down, up, down, up, down. And I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. And then like once I get out of the moment, I'm like, oh, this sucks, right? And like I was on a high after, I talked to the girl who's on the Flow Forward Media staff, and then her roommate. Like I was on a high because they were like so energetic about Dallas. And then like I drove off and I was like, oh, okay, back to normal. What do I do now? And so there's a thing called the Katy Trail. It's like 3 or 4 miles long in Dallas. And so what I did was I walked on that Katy Trail. This is all Friday, and I just put my headphones in. Or actually, before that, I went to go get poke at Poke Works in Dallas and Uptown. I think it was Uptown, and man, it was amazing. If you like poke from California, or on the coast, and you're used to really good poke Works in Dallas is amazing. It reminded me of home, and so it like really kind of hit home. And a couple hours before that, I had a carne asada burrito, which I haven't had one of those in a long time. So 2 foods that really reminded me of home, being in California. And so it was cool. And so after I had poke, I was just kind of stressed out. I was like, still like, this is cool, but like, can I make it here? What's gonna happen? How am I gonna meet people? And so I went on the Katy Trail and I put my headphones in. Katy Trail is like 3 or 4 miles long, and I was just listening to some sermons and made a couple calls and really just tried to talk to God about, hey, what do you want me to do? How am I gonna do this? And sometimes when you talk to God, like God answers like that. He doesn't talk from the clouds, or at least he hasn't done that for me, but he just gives you thoughts. And I was so worried about moving and stuff like that, and really just stressed out still. And walked for like an hour and a half and thought about my life. And then I started thinking about earlier when I tell everyone else to like take risks, and then like, here's a big risk, and like, I'm not going to take it. Am I not going to live up to what I tell every single person on every single YouTube video, like to take risks? Like you bet your butt that I'm going to take that risk. And I thought about like, lately I've been very negative, and so being negative, you can get in this kind of cycle of like, oh, it's not going to work, blah blah blah, because like it's been a really tough month. Obviously May just started, but like April was a tough month. So many things changed in my life, business decisions that were very hard happened, just crazy. And I decided to move in the month of April. And so it's been crazy, and a lot of negative emotions, and a lot of me being a Debbie Downer, and just things in my friends and family's lives that have been negative. And so like I was like, you know what, I'm done being negative, I'm gonna be positive. So I like started to be positive, and I walked away from that with such a sense of gratitude and such a sense of like, hey, this is gonna happen. And it was amazing. I'm like, this is gonna happen, I'm gonna make it work, and God's gonna provide. And sometimes all you have to do is just walk. When you're confused, maybe put your headphones in, listen to a sermon, listen to some music, pray, talk to God, talk to your friends, your family, whatever. And it really, really helps you gain clarity. Because the 45-minute video I took before I even took the trip, which I still haven't posted yet, which I'll post before this video, I was confused, and I went on a drive, and I totally got clarity. And so going on walks really helped me get clarity. And so after the walk, it's probably like 5 or 6 o'clock on Friday, I go to West Village in Texas, in Dallas. Beautiful, beautiful area, and got some Van Leeuwen ice cream, and got it on a cone and just walked around and just kind of soaked up the vibe and just checked it out, and was just amazed with the development of the city, and how close it is to Katy Trail and all that stuff, and just walked around and ate my ice cream and just vibed out, and it was super, super cool. And because my thing is, if I'm gonna move to any city, I want to walk around and soak up the vibe, right? And so I did that, and a lot of my traveling is business related. A lot of my traveling has to do with entertaining people, but this time it was just myself, and it was so cool just being by myself for once and being alone with my thoughts. And yeah, it was awesome. So yeah, I had ice cream. It was super, super good. If you've never been to Van Leeuwen, definitely check it out. There's a ton. They sell it at every store. I'm not sponsored. I would love to be. So I did that, and then I went to Lower Greenville. Lower Greenville is awesome. I've never been there before, but it's a little small town in Dallas, and man, it was amazing, packed with just young people. And I saw so many young people in Dallas. That's something that's like really like made me want to move here, is because like everyone's young and everyone seems like they work hard and everyone's like in shape and they take care of themselves. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like that's what I want. Because your environment truly shapes you, and your environment's not an excuse, but it does truly shape you, because that becomes the standard of your life. And so I walked on the main I think it's called Greenville Avenue. It's a main street with like bars and restaurants, and it was probably like sun was going down. It's like probably like 7:30, and I was like, dude, this is cool. And every single place that I've walked around, I've gotten some food, whether that's ice cream, poke, burritos, whatever. And I saw this rooftop patio, and I was like, that's dope. But I was like, you know what, like whatever, just keep walking, just go home, go back to your hotel and go to sleep and get ready for the next day. And something just was like on my mind, like just go up there. And so I went up there, and I never drink. I don't have a problem with alcohol. I just don't drink. I just don't like it. It's not fun for me. I just don't see a reason. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get a beer. So I got a beer, and I just sat up there, in the rooftop patio. I think it was called Hive. It was right across the street from HG Supply Co., another restaurant with a rooftop bar, and it was sick. And I just sat there and just had a beer, and I was watching the NBA game. I think the Golden State Warriors were playing, and these two girls come behind me, and they're sitting at a table next to, behind me, and there's a bunch of open tables too. So they like sat behind me. I was like, oh, that's interesting. It's a bunch of open tables, just probably a coincidence, and just sitting there, and then I was like, felt this like calling, just like talk to them, just be friends, right? Meet some people. And probably like 30 minutes into their conversation, I just turned around. I was like, hey, like, I'm not from here. I'm thinking about moving here. Anyways, I talked to these girls for probably like 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours. And it was so fun. We were laughing. We were talking about stories. We were talking about our experiences, our life, everything. They were like 28, 29 years old. From Dallas, and it was just so fun. And we exchanged Instagrams and stuff like that, and I'm gonna kind of keep them in the loop if I move when I move and stuff like that. They were just such nice and genuine people, and like it made me feel so excited because like I don't know anyone in Dallas, and so anytime I get to like meet anyone, have like meaningful conversation with someone, I'm like, yes, like that's so cool. It's it sounds weird, but when you go to a place that you don't know anyone, like those are big wins. And so it was just so cool talking to these people, super, super great people. I would say their names, but just for the sake of confidentiality, and I don't know if they want a shout out. I'm not going to. But it was cool. It was crazy. And so like just taking those risks, like, I don't normally have a beer, and I don't normally drink a beer by myself or go out by myself, but for some reason I just had a calling to go do that. And so whenever you have a calling, just go do it. Okay, if you have a calling to drink 12 beers, that's not a real calling. That's you. But if you have a calling to go up and get a drink and just chill and vibe somewhere, or not even a drink, maybe some food, and just vibe somewhere, go do it, because you never know who you're gonna meet. And I left and I got home at like 12 midnight, and I parked in like some like sketch parking garage, and downtown Dallas is a little sketchy at night. And like, dude, it was so sketchy just walking back. I kind of had to walk far through downtown Dallas to get to my hotel. But man, it was like crazy. And then, yeah, that was day one. And then it was so cool just meeting people. I was so happy. And then like I left and I got home and I was like, man, it's like so easy to meet people. And it seems like everyone here wants to make friends. And everyone here is like kind of moving for the same reason. And so then day two, today, woke up, saw a really, really nice apartment complex in Addison, Texas. Super, super nice. I don't think I'm gonna move to that one because I'd rather live in like a not as nice apartment, but in a really social area, because connecting, networking, and making friends is like super, super pivotal for me. Because the last like couple of years, I've just been so locked in that like I don't make a lot of friends my age. At least I don't go out and try. I'm just like always working or doing business meetings. So in this stage of my life, in this season of my life, I really just want to like make as many friends as I can, make those connections here in Dallas. And so yeah, that place in Addison was great, but it's like it's not very social. The walkability isn't great. Where some of these other apartments closer to downtown were just so walkable, so amazing. Everyone's walking their dog, everyone's running, everyone's doing something outside, and so that's what I really want. So day two, went there, and then I went to Las Palmas, which is an amazing restaurant, and I took my our sales girl out for Flow Forward Media, who lives in Dallas, and then her roommate that I helped move boxes yesterday. I wanted to take them out to lunch, and so we went to Las Palmas, but the wait was like 45 minutes, and so I was like, nah, let's screw that. And so I was like, hey, we need Audible, and they said HG Supply Company in Lower Greenville. So we went to HG, and I realized when I got there, I was like, oh shoot, I was at the rooftop right across, right next to HG Supply the night before, and that's where I met those two girls, and it was like super fun. And so me and the two others today just like sat and had lunch on a patio, and like, man, I haven't had lunch on a patio in like such a long time. Number one, I don't really go out to lunch in Oklahoma City because again, I'm just working and grinding. And then number two, like I just don't like hang out with a bunch of people. And so it was just cool, like just going out to lunch on the patio. And number three is like there's not a lot of patio restaurants out in Oklahoma City compared to Dallas. Dallas is crazy with that stuff. And so super, super fun. We talked business, laughed, life, everything. Just really, really great people. And so we're just talking, all brainstorming, putting our heads together, trying to figure out how to scale Flow Forward Media in Dallas, Texas. Because right now at this moment, I'm like, yeah, I think we can. Do I know how? Absolutely not. If I knew how, I'd be doing it right now. And so that's like the awesome, wondrous thing about life and business, is that like you're never gonna know how, but you just gotta go figure it out. And so that's what we were doing, and I'm so blessed to have other people trying to help me out as well. And then we went to the truck yard. After lunch, we went to the truck yard. It's like a cool like outdoor bar. They were playing music. So many people there. And again, it's so social. Everyone was talking to each other. There's this girl that had a kangaroo in her little, she had like this little like sack, and she was carrying a kangaroo. in like this little blanket. And it was the coolest thing. I don't know why there's a kangaroo, but why she had it, but it was freaking dope. She brought it in the bar, and I thought it was so sick. And the kangaroo was like just such a cute little animal. We went there and had a good time, and then I went to. So after that, I left and went straight to a kid that I do hitting lessons with. He was playing in Dallas. He was playing in Victory Park, so right across the street from the Dallas Mavericks Stadium and the Dallas Star Stadium. And so I went to he was like 12U, so I went to his game and watched his game, and he did great. And this kid worked so hard, because I still do hit a few hitting lessons. Not necessarily because I need to do them, but just I like to do it because with hitting lessons, it really, baseball hitting lessons, it really helps me step away from work, because if I just focus on work all the time, I go crazy, and I won't ever leave my house if I just work all the time. And so doing hitting lessons helps me get out of the house, helps me relax, and really helps me give back to the people that deserve it. And so went to watch his game, super awesome. Talked to his dad for a super long time. His dad's a great person. His whole family's amazing. And so I did that, and then after that it was 5:00. And so then after I went to Highland Park Village. Highland Park Village is a very nice area in Dallas. Really love the architecture, really love the houses there, how they built the roads, the streets, all of that stuff too. And so I want to live there one day. I want to live there in 5 years from now. I want to live in Highland Park. And so before you do that, you have to be in the environment and have to surround yourself with those people and in the environment in those neighborhoods. And so I called my buddy Eric Kraus, and what I usually do is I just love walking through those neighborhoods. I'll usually jog, or I'll walk through those neighborhoods and just soak up the vibes again, because again, your environment shapes you. And so walk through the neighborhoods, called my buddy Eric, and it was so cool. And Eric, if you're watching this, I'm so proud of you, dude. Just everything that you've overcame. The way you look at life, the way that you handle your business, and the advice that you give me is priceless. And so I called Eric, we talked for an hour and a half, and just built each other up, and we're just talking positive and just laughing and having good times, man, while I was walking in my future neighborhood. And so it was just super cool. Did that, and then I went to some restaurant. I got a reservation. I kind of spoiled myself this week, because I think sometimes you just need to do that. It was called what is it? It was in West Village. It was an Italian restaurant. Let's do it. It was called, so after I walked through Highland Park and got off the phone, I went to San Marzano in West Village. I went by myself, and it was so good. It was so good. It kind of took a long time, but it was an Italian restaurant, very classy, very chic. Not crazy nice, but just went there and just got the crab cakes, which was really good, spicy crab cakes, and then I got chicken parm, and I got a layer of spaghetti under it with marinara, and it was fire. But yeah, it was dope. It was just dope seeing all the young people out and stuff like that. Obviously, I went by myself, but sometimes you just got to do that. Sometimes you got to just be to yourself and be to your thoughts, and that's what I did all weekend. It really helps you get clarity, and so I did that. And then after that, I just walked around West Village all the way down to Uptown and around, and just soaked up more vibes, and just kind of thought about life and where I'm headed and the moves I need to make, which anytime I think about the moves I need to make, my mind just goes blank. I feel like I'm very in the moment. It's hard for me to say, oh, I'm going to make this move in 2 weeks, because I don't even know where I'm going to be tomorrow, right? And so man plans, God laughs kind of deal. And so I did that, and then here was the crazy part. So when I got back to the hotel, after walking around West Village and Uptown, which is just an awesome area, when I got back to the hotel, I went to the snack bar, like the restaurant downstairs, and there was this guy there, this black dude, and he just looked like an average dude, and he was like, oh, snacks, and I was like, yeah, and he just kind of kept making conversation. I was like, okay, this is interesting, and then he goes, where are you from? Oklahoma City, or Newport Beach, not Newport, Orange County, California, but I live in Oklahoma City. Oh my God, I lived in Edmond, Oklahoma for 7 years. I was with OG&E, and now he's a really, really big time consultant. And him and I was like, no way. And me and this guy talked for 30 minutes in the store at it was probably like 10 o'clock at night. And we talked for 30 minutes in a hotel store, like next to and basically in the lobby, just about how we started our companies and what he does now and who he helps. And I mean, dude, he's working with some big players in business, and it was just like a total God thing. God speaks to me through people, and anytime I'm scared or worried, I feel like there's just some person that pops in my life and speaks life into me. And this was a guy that just spoke a lot of life into me. So his name was Vinny. I won't say his last name, but Vinny, if you're watching this, thank you, man. And we need to keep in touch. And I know that was just the first interaction of many. So thank you so much for sharing everything that you shared with me in the little hotel store, because that was the coolest thing ever. And I mean, him and I were talking, and he was like, yeah, dude, move to Dallas. And it was just kind of like more like confirmation to move and take that risk and take that jump and a leap of faith. And so, it was so cool. It was so cool. And then I went upstairs, and now I'm filming this video. I just killed those shortbread cookies, but man, there hasn't been a dull moment here. There has not been a dull moment. It's been amazing. And I asked God before this trip that God show a sign, like it's gonna be glaring for me to come here, and it's bright. It's glaring. It's very bright. And I'm excited to move. There's some paperwork I need to fill out first and all that stuff, but I think this is gonna be the best thing that I've ever done in my life. And I'm excited to be around hungry individuals and competitive environment, fast pace. I almost got in 50 car accidents the last freaking 24 hours. It's so hard to drive in Dallas, but this is the place I wanted to be. I finally get to be here. And it's been nothing short of magical. I don't know what's gonna happen here. I don't know how it's gonna happen. But what I do know is something very, very good is gonna happen in this city. Don't know what, don't know how, don't know when. But this weekend just proved to me that some amazing things can happen in the city. And it gave me affirmation, it gave me confidence that if I keep doing what I'm gonna do, if I keep doing what I'm doing and do exactly what I did in OKC, to network, to meet people, to help people out, and I could do that here with a level of confidence and a level of professionalism that I could bring to the table, nothing's gonna stop me. Nothing's gonna stop me. Nothing's gonna stop the company. We just gotta get after it, shake hands, meet people and network and do all these amazing things, which that part I'm not really scared about. I think the biggest thing is like I'm just trying to figure out where to network, where to meet people, where to meet the right people, because you can meet a bunch of people that aren't the right people. But even Vinny told me in the store, he said networking is great, you'll probably go 1 for 50 or 2 for 50, but those 2 could make you millions of dollars. And so that's a risk I'm willing to take. I want to make some more friends, make some new friends, and so just surround myself with just killers and guys that are gonna work extremely hard and just ball out. And I think this city has that, and it has that potential too. And so with that said, I wasn't really gonna make this video, but I think my older self would appreciate it. And if you're considering moving to a bigger city, do it. With that said, have a great time. Have a great day. Stay inspired. Oh, last thing. So while I was scared, my mom told me, Marcus, watch your own YouTube videos. I'm a guy that never takes his own advice. I'm a guy who doesn't watch his own YouTube videos. I just post them. And I was watching myself talk on stage in one of my YouTube videos, talking about risk. And I was like, holy crap. I told hundreds of people to take a risk. And now I'm in a moment where I need the risk. And I don't. And so I thought about those 100 people, hundreds of people. I'd go, if I don't take this risk, I'm letting them down. Simple as that. And once I realized that, I was like, if I don't take this risk, I'm letting my future self down. I'm letting my future family down. Because I know something magical and something amazing is going to happen here. And so I can't even keep my eyes open. I'm so tired. So sometimes you just got to watch your old tapes, read your old notes, read your old journal, because oftentimes we dream big when we're younger because there's nothing to stop us. There's no internal clock, there's nothing. And so if you want to accomplish your goals and dreams, you have that same childlike faith. With that said, I'm super tired. It is 12:09. I got church tomorrow morning, but this was the Dallas trip. Stay tuned for more. Bye. So I'm headed out of Dallas right now, but on the way out, I met with my good buddy Patrick Cromwell, had a great lunch, a great breakfast. But then when I was packing up, the consultant, the business guy that I met last night in the lobby, in like the snack area that we talked for like 30 minutes, I saw him in passing today when I was eating breakfast with Patrick, and then all of a sudden he texted me and wants to go to lunch now. And so I don't know where this is gonna lead. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I thought it was just really cool because I really did want to go to lunch with him and catch up after that great conversation last night. And so that's what I'm off to now, and then I'm headed back home to Oklahoma. But just a little recap on the trip. It's been nothing short of amazing. It's been everything has been honestly perfect and seamless. And it's just been a giant blessing and a sign to move here and relocate. And so now it's all about getting into the right apartment. And yeah, that should be interesting. I'm excited to move to Dallas. Let's go.